our black men, we got to get them out to vote. That's number one. Kamala's opponent promised a lot of things last time to the black community that he did not deliver on. And we got to make sure we help black men understand that. So that's why I'm here, to make sure I help black men understand. First, get out and vote, and then vote for the next president of the United States, Kamala Harris.
Communities is that we have not yet seen the same kinds of energy and turnout in all quarters of our neighborhoods and communities as we saw when I was running. Now, I also want to say that that seems to be more pronounced with the brothers. So if you don't mind, just for a second, I'm going to speak to y'all directly and say that when you have a choice that is this clear, when on the one hand you have somebody who grew up like you, knows you, went to college with you, understands the struggles and pain and joy that comes from those experiences. He's had to work harder and do more and overcome and achieves the second highest office in the land.
Nigga! Now, find a new rival.
We need to appeal to the needs of the voters. And so when I was a delegate for President Obama in both of his elections in Ohio, right now the vice president is down 11 points in Ohio, even though I fully expect President Trump to take Ohio as he did twice, but to be down 11 points compared to President Biden, that is a problem. But this other issue I want to bring up is a problem too. Why are black men being lectured to? Why are black men being belittled in ways that no other voting group? Now, a lot of love for former President Obama, but for him to single out black men is wrong. And some of the black men that I have talked to have their reasons why they want to vote a different way. And even if some of us may not like that, we have to respect it. So unless President Barack Obama is going to go out and lecture every other group of men from other identity groups, my message for Democrats is don't bring it here to black men who, by and large, don't vote much differently from black women. And what, as a politician, we should be trying to get all voters.
Sensational.
Let me get this straight. So we got Magic Johnson out here telling all black men, well, technically telling the whole United States that, yo, black men, we need y'all to get out there and vote. We got to really get black men out there and vote in order for us to win this race. Did people forget that there are more black women in the United States than there are black men? Even if all black men who are eligible to vote voted, she can still lose. I could swear that we went through this exact same orchestrated plan in order to go after black men politically on these types of mainstream media platforms. I could have sworn we went through this when it dealt with, Georgia? Some people may remember, some people may not, short-term memory. And there was a woman who was black, and she stated that black men need to get out and vote. There were other black women who were a part of the news circuit, and they stated with the power that they have that black men are the reason why it is that somebody such as Stacey Abrams lost the race. Lost her seat. But then when you bring out the stats, you show the numbers, it reads a little bit differently. And again, I went over this in a multitude of videos. And then we got Barack Obama in the next clip doing the exact same thing. Again, this is what people, I'm sorry, let me just reverse that back. This is what black men talk about when they say that they are being targeted and that they are under attack from all sides. Literally, all sides. I cannot list to you another demographic of men who are so targeted, more targeted than black men. I'm looking at political landscape at this moment in time, and you cannot show me anybody else, no other group, no other ethnicity of man that is being targeted in such a way that is going to try to blame or place blame on a group of men, such as black men. If there's ever a moment in time where white men decide to vote a whole different way, you're not going to hear a whole demographic of white women sit up there and state, oh, this is their fault because they didn't sit up there and decide to vote with us. And they're not doing that. They're not doing that. They're not doing that. Specifically and only do things like this happen to black men. And again, you have some of the very rich and powerful people directly out here doing this, along with the media. And it's crazy. It's 1000% crazy to see this in real time. So again, nobody can sit up there and try to tell black men, oh, this isn't happening. You guys are just trying to portray yourselves as victims. And no, it's actually happening, because the same thing that happened here happened previously. And because people didn't want to pay attention and people didn't want to listen to black men, guess what? It's happening again, because people didn't want to speak up and say nothing about it the very first time. And then the funniest thing is, after all of this time, one of the main people, and I'm going to just sit up there and say one of the first people to, in a sense, go on to a mainstream media platform in front of other constituents and state the obvious that, hey, it's wrong how black men are getting targeted. It's wrong how black men are getting treated. This makes no sense. Why isn't this happening to other men of other demographics? Why isn't this type of aim happening all over? Why specifically just fixate and point on one group as if that one group is going to be the make it or break it, when realistically you should be aiming at every group, trying to make sure that every group, every nationality, every ethnicity is going to come through and vote for Kamala. This is what I'm saying. For the few black women out there that speak out, that use the platform or the type of views that they have out there to call out the injustice, to call out the wrongs, shout out to you. Thank you for doing what it is that you do every single day and pointing out the obvious to other people who never want to see it, who never want to believe it, that black men are unnecessarily being targeted and being positioned as to the blame or the reason of why it is that if Kamala doesn't make it into office, then black men are going to be the blame. The only thing I'm trying to do here is showcase the fact that they are trying to position black men as the blame for whatever failure may come directly from this if she does not make it into office. Again, I'm just going to repeat myself like a broken record. This is the exact same thing they tried to do, and this is how they tried to position men, black men, when it dealt with Stacey Abrams. You had Jesse Jackson coming out. You had a variety of other men trying to come out like, oh, well, the reason that black men don't want to sit up there and vote for a black woman is because they're intimidated because of this and because of that, because they're afraid. And it's tiring. It's very tiring. And if people thought that this was the way to win an election, you don't need to be working in politics, because you're going to lose more people than what you will gain from doing things like this and specifically targeting black men. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about this video and everything that I listed in the comment description below. And as always, peace, love, and stay tuned for the next video.